A few years ago, I lived in a house with a lot of strange activity. Every night, I'd wake up to knocking and scratching on the wall behind my head, even though that wall didn't connect to a neighbor's house. I tried to convince myself it was animals, but it still spooked me. Then, my cat started acting strangely around the wardrobe in our bedroom. It was there when we moved in, and she'd sit and stare at it for hours, occasionally meowing and sticking, her face down the side of it. We moved the wardrobe, expecting to find a dead mouse or something similar, but there was nothing. Just an old makeshift cane rod. I'd like to believe it was only used playfully, but who knows? We put the cane back, but after that, our toddler started waking up screaming in the night, pointing at the ceiling in terror and saying, "Man there," over and over. After the third time, we moved her bed into our room. One night, I was lying in bed about to fall asleep when I heard someone downstairs. I panicked, desperately tapping my partner's arm to wake him without alerting the intruder. He didn't wake up, and eventually, I heard footsteps coming up the stairs. I grabbed a pair of scissors and waited, but as the footsteps entered the room, there was no one there. I could hear them stop next to the wardrobe, and then they disappeared. We moved out shortly after for unrelated reasons, but over the years, the activity seems to have followed us, or gotten worse. My family constantly hears each other talking or calling out, even though it wasn't us. For example, I heard my daughter say, "Hey," right behind me the other week, so I responded, only to find out she was on the other side of the house. Once, when my daughter, 5 at the time, went to get a plate from a low kitchen cabinet, she told me she heard a man's voice saying, "Hello, I see you." I checked for any spaces that could lead to the neighbor's house, but found nothing. Now, my daughter has night terrors every night, though she never remembers them. She's afraid of going into certain rooms alone, while others are fine. She'll often hear me calling her and respond, only for me to tell her I never called her name. She's convinced I'm messing with her. Here's where I made a mistake. After my grandma passed, I bought a Ouija board out of curiosity. I'd never used one before. My daughter wanted to join and asked for a name. The planchette just spelled "hi" over and over. When I asked, "Would you like us to go?" it said yes.